and Pharmaceuticals in association with Higher Secondary Principals Forum.
Namaskar, I am Samir Mandrekar from Sri Kamaleshwar Higher Secondary School, Korgaon, Penne. I am teaching economics and political science subjects in Sri Kamaleshwar Higher Secondary School, Korgaon, Penne for last 20 years. A warm and hearty welcome to all my loving students of political science subject. First of all, I am very much grateful to Prudent channel and also the Principal Forum for taking initiative to start Prudent Scholars, which was the need of an hour. Thanks for giving me this golden opportunity. Regarding political science subject is a very scoring subject. Only thing, dear students, you have to put some little interest in the subject. Political science is a very informative subject where you get a lot of knowledge and where you can update your general knowledge. Regarding political science subject, we have two textbooks. First textbook is Contemporary World Politics. There are total 9 topics for 40 marks. And the second textbook is Politics in India since Independence. Again, in this book, we are having 9 topics for 40 marks. From book 2, Politics in India since Independence, the first topic is Challenges of Building Nation, where we have total 5 marks for the Goa Board's final exam. The second topic is Era of One-Party Dominance. Again, we have 5 marks for the Goa Board's final exam for the Era of One-Party Dominance topic. Now, I will just highlight which were the topics we have studied in the earlier session under Era of One-Party Dominance. First subtopic is difficulties faced by the Election Commission of India during the first 3 general elections. Second, factors, reasons or causes responsible for the dominance of the Congress party in first 3 general election. Third subtopic we have deal with nature of Congress dominance in Indian politics. Fourth is Congress as social and ideological collision. Fifth, tolerance and management of faction. And the last subtopic we have dealt with emergence of opposition parties in India. Before beginning the topic of politics of planned development, let me remind you, dear students, in standard 12th in English, you are having 2 textbooks, right? First one is Vistas and second one is Flamingo, right? Flamingo is a kind of bird which is found mostly in the Run of Kutch area of Gujarat. So, Kutch area of Gujarat is called as the Flamingo City of India, where we found lots of flamingos in this city. And this Kutch area is the desert area of Gujarat. Likewise, we all know Mumbai is called as the financial city of India. Also, Mumbai is called as the entertainment city of India. Delhi is called as the capital city of India. Bangalore is called as the IT, information technology city of India. Now, anybody among you students can tell me which city of India is called as the planned city of India. Acha, I will give you the hint, students. First hint, this city is the common capital of 2 states of India. And the second hint is, this city is the Union Territory of India. Definitely, exactly, dear students, you are right. The planned city of India is none other than Chandigarh city of India. So Chandigarh is called as the planned city of India. The Chandigarh city is planned by the government in a very systematic manner. Now, under politics of planned development topic, third chapter, what we are going to study today is, first topic is ideas of development, second topic will be the planning in India, third will be 5-year plans with special reference to first 5-year plan, and the second will be second 5-year plan. Fourth topic is key controversies related to first agriculture versus industry, and the second is the public sector versus the private sector. And the last topic will be major outcomes of a planned development. Under this, we are having total 3 subtopics. First is foundation of India's future economic growth. Second will be the land reforms. And the last subtopic from today's chapter will be green revolution. We'll study this one by one. Let us come to the first topic of our chapter. And the first topic is ideas of development. Now, before I will tell you the meaning of development. What is the meaning of development? Development means becoming more modern, and modern means becoming more likely industrialized countries of the West. Every country would like to go for the development. Every country from the world are following certain planning in their own country. Now, at the time of independence, India was having 2 models of development. First, the capitalist model, and the second one is the socialist model. The capitalist model was followed by the USA, that is the America, and the socialist model was followed by Soviet Union, that is USSR. Many were impressed by the socialist model, including Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the Socialist Party of India, and the Communist Party of India, whereas only few supported the capitalist model of America. For some, the development of agriculture and removal of poverty was the priority. So, we will find in the first 5-year plan of India, the more importance was given to the agriculture sector of India, including implementation of land reforms in India. Whereas, the second 5-year plan gave preference to the industrialization. So, this is all about ideas of development. The second note is the planning in India. I will tell you the meaning of planning first, dear students. Planning means the use of resources for the welfare of the whole country. Now take for example of your school. If in case in your school, your in-charge teacher of picnic along with the principal of your higher secondary school decides to go for the trekking in Warpai village. Now prior to that, suppose you are a group of 4 friends in a class, you are going to meet prior to the trekking at one place, and you are going to make a planning for trekking, and that too for only one day. One will bring chana masala, the second fellow will bring chicken masala, the third friend will bring bread and chapatis, and the fourth friend will bring soft drinks and water. Now here you have made the planning for the purpose of trekking, and that too only for one day and only for 4 among yourselves. But as a whole, the Planning Commission of India is making a plan for a period of 5 years for the whole country. That is called as the planning in India. The government of India prepares a plan for its all income and expenditure for the next 5-year plans in the planning. So far, India have completed total 11 5-year plans and 12 5-year plan of India could not be completed because this plan was replaced, that means Planning Commission of India was replaced with Niti Aayog from 1st January 2015 onwards. Now what is the meaning of Niti Aayog? What it stands for? Niti Aayog stands for National Institution for Transforming India, which was started from 1st January 2015 onwards. So because of implementation of Niti Aayog, 12 5-year plan could not complete its full term. Industrialists drafted a joint proposal for a planned economy in 1944 and named this plan as a Bombay Plan. The Bombay Plan wanted the states to take major initiatives, especially in industrial and other economic investment. In March 1950, the Planning Commission was started in India, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first chairman of Planning Commission in India. My dear students, remember, always Prime Minister of India remains the chairman of the Planning Commission. I will just go back to the earlier topic of this, where we have studied the Election Commission of India, and we came to know that Sukumar Sen was the first Chief Election Commissioner of India. And one more thing, dear students, both these commissions, Election Commission of India as well as the Planning Commission of India, started in the same year, that is in the year 1950. This is all about the planning in India. Now, this is the chart I have made of 5-year plans in India. This is not there for the exam. Just to give you extra information, I had prepared this slide. So far, as I said, we have completed 11 5-year plans, and we could not complete 12 5-year plan with its full term because Planning Commission was replaced with the Niti Aayog. Now, if we see all this right from the first year plan up till the 11th or 12th 5-year plan, all the plans starts exactly on 1st April only, and all the 5-year plans ends exactly on 31st March only. Now 1st April in India is considered as the beginning of the financial year. Likewise, we have others. Take for example, 1st January is called as the beginning of the calendar year. Or schools in Goa, academic year starts in the month of June. So dear students, remember almost all the 5-year plans started exactly on 1st April only. Now if you go through all the details in the chart, you will find after the 3rd 5-year plan, the government of India could not complete the 4th plan immediately. There was certain delay in the 4th plan. Likewise, even the 6th plan, 5-year plan of India was delayed in India, and even 8th 5-year plan was delayed in India. Now what were the reasons? I will tell you why 4th 5-year plan in India was delayed. The first reason is during the same period, India was having the problem of economic crisis. Second reason why 4th 5-year plan was delayed, India was facing a war with Pakistan in the year 1965. Third reason, India was having the problem of inflation. Dear students, inflation meaning price rise, increase in the prices of commodities. And the last reason, dear students, during the same period, India have to face 2 successive years of severe drought. So these were the reasons why 4th plan in India was delayed. Even it was delayed for a period of 3 years, and so government of India could not immediately follow 4th 5-year plan. So government of India have adopted what has been called as annual plans for the period of 3 years. Annual plans for the period of 3 years. After finishing 5th plan, government of India could not immediately follow the 6th plan for a period of 1 year. So the government of India followed an annual plan for a period of 1 year. And again, 8th plan could not be completed immediately. So the government decided to have annual plans again for a period of 2 years. Now, before going to the 5-year plans in India with special reference to first 5-year plan and second 5-year plan, if you do just extra reference, you will find certain objectives which are common for all the 5-year plans in India. Now, which are those common objectives which are there for all the 5-year plans in India? Okay, these are just the extra objectives. First objective, common objective for each 5-year plan in India is to, first will be to control India's growing population. Dear students, we all know India ranks second in the world in terms of population, next only to China. Today, currently, India is having 135 crores of population. So one of the basic aim and objective in each plan is to control India's growing population. And dear friends, remember, India is the first country in the world to adopt family planning program. So in order to control India's growing population, most important step taken by the government of India is the implementation of family planning program. Second objective, which you will find common almost in maximum plans in India, is to provide job opportunities, is to provide employment opportunities by making development of all the 3 sectors of the Indian economy, that is the agricultural sector, industrial sector, as well as the services sector. The third common aim or objective you will find in almost all the plan is to reduce poverty. Dear students, in the medieval times, India was called as a golden sparrow. But if we see today's position, there are crores of people in India who are very poor, who could not even afford 3 basic minimum needs of life, that is food, clothing and shelter. So in order to reduce the problem of poverty in India, the government of India have started various programs, or you can call as policies or yojanas in India. The fourth common objective you will find almost in all the 5-year plans is to reduce the inequality of income. Now, first of all, what is the meaning of inequality, dear students? Inequality meaning the gap between the rich and the poor people. On the one side, there are very few people in India who are very, very rich in India. And on the other side, there are crores of people in India who are very, very poor in India. So, in order to reduce the problem of inequality, the gap between the rich and the poor people in India, the government tries to sort out this problem. The government of India have already started the implementation of land reforms in India. The next 5th objective, which is common in all the 5-year plans, is to control inflation. Now, what is the meaning of inflation, dear students? Inflation meaning rising prices. In India, mostly every year, prices of essential commodities are increasing day by day. Now, in such situation, it is very, very difficult to buy essential commodities, especially for the poor people. Now, who is getting suffer from the inflation problem? Especially poor people from India. So, the government of India is trying to sort out this problem through various schemes. Like take for example, in most of the states of India, we'll take the example of Goa. In Goa, through public distribution system, through ration cards or through societies, we are getting certain essential commodities at a very subsidized rate. Like take for example wheat, rice, sugar and the edible oil. The next common objective of India's 5-year plans is improvement in infrastructural facilities, especially related to transport and communication. I will give you the best example from Goa only, dear students. Recently, the government of Goa have constructed Atal Setu, which is the best example of infrastructure facilities provided in Goa. The next common objective is to increase the national income of the country. How the government of India will increase the national income of the country? To increase the national income of the country, saving should be increased. If saving increases, investment will increase, and saving and investment together will lead to capital formation, which will help government to increase the national income of our country, that is India. Next topic, next objective will be eradication of illiteracy. My dear students, there are still people in certain states who are very illiterate. So, in order to eradicate illiteracy from India, the Constitution of India in the year 2002, with the help of 86th Amendment Act, had made free and compulsory education to the children up to the age of 14 years. Next common objective is to provide safe drinking water facilities and to provide primary health facilities throughout the country. And the last common objective, which you will find almost in first 7 5-year plans, is to achieve self-reliance in India. My dear students, what is the meaning of self-reliance? Self-reliance meaning, instead of importing various goods and commodities from foreign countries, the same goods and commodities India should try to produce in India itself. I'll give you the example. Suppose instead of importing mobiles from foreign countries, India should make efforts to manufacture mobile in India itself. That will be called as self-reliance. So these are the extra objectives, general objectives, which you will find almost in each 5-year plans of India if you do just the extra reference. Dear students, let us come to 5-year plans with special reference to, we will study first 5-year plan and the second 5-year plan. Let us have the first 5-year plan in India, and from your examination point of view, this note is very important. First 5-year plan, the period starts from 1st April 1951 to 31st March 1956. First 5-year plan gave more importance to agricultural sector, agrarian sector of the country. The first 5-year plan was drafted by K.N. Raj. K.N. Raj stands for Kakkadan Nandanath Raj. Kakkadan Nandanath Raj was called as the architect of the first 5-year plan in India. When he drafted the first 5-year plan, at that time he was very young, he was called as an young economist of India. Now, what were the main objectives of first 5-year plan in India? The first main objective was removal of poverty. The first 5-year plan stresses on the removal of poverty to some extent in the Indian economy. As I have told you earlier, once India was called as a golden sparrow during medieval times, and presently there are crores of people in India who could not even afford to get 3 basic minimum needs of life, that is food, clothing and shelter. So the first objective of the first 5-year plan was to remove the problem of poverty from India by providing various schemes, policies and yojanas in India. The second objective of the first 5-year plan gave importance to the agrarian sector. Now, what is the meaning of agrarian sector? Agrarian sector means, students, agricultural sector. It is also called as the primary sector of India. It is also called as the traditional sector of India. First 5-year plan gave more importance to the agricultural sector, and during the first 5-year plan in North India, especially in the state of Punjab and Haryana, Bhakra Nangal Dam was constructed. Even during the same 5-year plan, first 5-year plan, Government of India gave more importance to the land reforms in India. Government of India introduced land reforms which brought certain changes, especially in the agricultural sector. The third objective of the first 5-year plan is to increase national income. Now, how the national income of the country will increase? Now, to increase the national income, saving of the people should increase. If saving increases, investment will increase, and saving and investment together will increase the capital formation in India, and in this way national income of the country will increase. And also the government should make more development of all the 3 sectors in order to increase the national income: agriculture sector, industrial sector as well as the services sector. Let us come to the second 5-year plan. Second 5-year plan period starts on 1st April 1956 to 31st March 1961. The second 5-year plan gave more importance to industrial sector of the economy. Industrial sector is called as the secondary sector of India. It is also called as the modern sector of India, or it is also called as the manufacturing sector of India. The second 5-year plan was drafted by P.C. Mahalanobis. P.C. Mahalanobis stands for Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis. The main objectives of the second 5-year plan were: the first, to stress on heavy industries. The second 5-year plan stressed on heavy industries. It gave more importance to industrial sector of the economy. The second objective was to improve public and private industries. The second 5-year plan gave more importance to both public as well as the private industries in India. The government imposed tariff rates on imports from foreign countries in order to give protection to the public and private industries from India. Tariff in the sense like tax. Government started imposing tax on the imported goods and commodities from foreign countries. Such protected environment helped both public and private industries in India to grow very rapidly. The third objective of the second 5-year plan was to increase saving and investment. Now, how we can increase saving and investment if there is a development in the industrial sector of the economy, and during the same period a lot of development in industries like electricity, steel, railways, communication were developed in India, which helped the businessmen from India to increase their saving and investment in India. Dear students, our fourth subtopic is key controversies related to agriculture versus industry, and the second be the public sector versus the private sector. Let us come to first agriculture versus industry. Now, during the initial stages of 5-year plans, there was a conflict whether to give more importance to the agriculture sector or to the industrial sector. As we had already seen, the first 5-year plan gave more importance to the agricultural sector of the Indian economy. Agriculture sector is also called as the traditional sector of India. It is also called as the primary sector of India. So there were few people, experts from the Indian economy, who gave more importance to the agrarian sector of the economy. On the other side, you will find there were some experts from Indian economy who gave more importance to the secondary sector of India, that is the industrial sector of India, which is also called as modern or manufacturing sector of India. So there was controversies going in whether to give more importance to the agriculture sector or to the industrial sector. And we had already seen that first 5-year plan gave more importance to the primary, that is the agriculture sector of India, and whereas the second 5-year plan gave more importance to the secondary sector, that is the industrial sector of India. Gandhian economists like J.C. Kumarappa proposed for the greater emphasis especially on rural industrialization. In the first plan, state made laws for land reforms and distribution of resources among the poor in the villages. Some argues that Indian planning did not have an agrarian strategy to boost the production of food grains. So that's of agriculture versus industry. Our next topic is public sector versus the private sector. Dear students, if I ask you what type of economy India is having, definitely you are going to answer India is having a mixed economy. So what is that mixed economy? We will study in the topic public sector versus the private sector. India gave importance to both the public sector as well as the private sector. India took elements from socialist model of Soviet Union and the capitalist model of America. India took both these models, the socialist model of Soviet Union and the capitalist model of America, and mixed it together, which is called as the mixed economy. Dear students, I will give you the example. Socialist model which was followed by Soviet Union gave more importance to the state, gave more importance to the public sector, government, whereas the capitalist model gave more importance to the private sector, private businessmen in the economy. The socialist model gave more importance to the public sector, that is for the state or the government, whereas the capitalist model gave more importance to the private sector, private businessmen. Now what India did, India took elements from both the models, socialist model from Soviet Union and the capitalist model from America and mixed it very well and adopted mixed economy for India. So you will find in India all the three sectors of the economy, agriculture, industrial as well as services sector are left open for both the sectors, private sector as well as the public sector. I will give you the example of industrial sector. Take for example, Goa Antibiotics is the example of the public sector, and you will find on the other side there are lots of private industries or factories which are run, owned and managed by private individuals in India. So this was the controversy whether to give more importance to a public sector or the private sector. What India did, India followed the path or strategy of mixed economy, meaning India gave importance to the public sector as well as the private sector. Much of the agriculture, trade and industry were left for the private sector in India, whereas heavy industries and infrastructure were left for the public sector in India. Our last fifth topic is major outcomes of early initiatives of plant development. There are three subtopics we are going to study under this. First subtopic is foundation of India's future economic growth. Second, B will be land reforms. Third, C will be the green revolution. Let us come to the first foundation of India's future economic growth. Now, under foundation of India's future economic growth, first point is initially largest developmental projects like mega dams including Bhakra Nangal and Hirakud for irrigation and power generation were undertaken. Now, dear students, these are the two views of Bhakra and Nangal Dam from India, and these are the two views of Hirakud Dam from India. Now, these dams, Bhakra Nangal and Hirakud dams, were more helpful. It were providing irrigational facilities for farmers from India, as well as these dams were providing power generation in most states of India. Second point is heavy industries in the public sector like steel plants, oil refineries and defense production were started initially in India. And the third, infrastructure for transport and communication was improved during initial stages of planning in India. Let us come to the second note. Second note is land reforms. Now, from examination point of view, dear students, this note is very important. Question is asked on important land reforms in India. Now, what is the meaning of land reforms? Land reforms meaning certain changes were brought by the government of India in the agrarian sector of the economy. Now, immediately after independence, the government of India started land reforms that was started actually from the year 1952 onwards. Whatever different types of land reforms started in India were more beneficial only to the tenants of the soil. Let us study the land reforms which were implemented in India. As I said, this question is very important from the examination point of view. First, land reform was abolition of zamindari system. Now, before going to the land reform, abolition of zamindari system, let me tell you students, what is the meaning of zamindari system? Zamindari system was started by the British government in Bengal in 1793 by Lord Cornwallis. This land Zamindari system was implemented during that time in order to increase the revenue of the British East India Company. Dear friends, we all know before independence, maximum countries, foreign countries wanted to have a business relations with India because India was called as the golden sparrow and total few European powers came in India, like take for example Britishers, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese and the Denmark. Among these 5 European powers, Britishers were very shrewd. They removed all other 4 powers from India. Only Portugal was limited to Goa, Daman and Diu. And in order to increase the revenue, in the 16th century, British East India Company was started by the British government. Now, what was actually the Zamindari system? According to this system, an important person from every village was chosen and then he was given the responsibility of collecting revenue from that village and giving it back to the government. This person was called Zamindar, means the owner of land. Later on, the Zamindars were declared the owner of land. They were entrusted with the task of collecting rent from the farmers. The Zamindars were to act as intermediaries between the cultivators and the governments. However, with the lapse of time, Zamindars lost interest in land and shifted their residence from their village to city areas. These Zamindars became absentee landlords in the villages. They lost the feeling of belongingness to the village and had no interest in the development of their land. So all these above evils of the Zamindari system led the government to introduce legislation for its abolition. The cultivator was to be made the owner of land. Second land reform is consolidation of land. Now, what is the meaning of consolidation of land? It means attempts of bringing small pieces of land together was made by the government so that farm size could increase for agriculture. In India, dear students, after generation, size of the farm decreases. Take for example, if one person is having 2 children, his farm size will get distributed among his 2 children. In the next generation, his 2 children is having again 2 children each. The same size of the farm will be divided into 4 parts. So, after every generation, this size of farm is decreasing in India. So, what government decided? Government decided to bring all these small pieces of land of farm together and give it to landless laborers from India. The third land reform was ceilings on land holdings. Ceiling on land holdings means fixing the maximum size of land which could be owned by an individual. The purpose of ceiling was to reduce the concentration of land ownership in a few hands. The extra land after imposing ceiling was distributed among other cultivators. Ceiling means imposing some limit on the ownership of land. Take for example, a particular landlord is owning this much amount of land in his village. According to ceilings on land holdings, land reform, that particular landlord will own only this much land of area. So what government did over here? Government has put certain limit that a landlord could own a land. the extra land will be taken back by the government and it will be redistributed among the landless laborers from India. So this was the land reform, ceiling on land holdings introduced in India. The last land reform was the tenancy legislation. Tenancy legislation means the tenants who worked on someone else's land were given greater security against eviction. This reform was passed in order to protect the tenants from the exploitation of the rich landlords in Indian villages. So in order to protect from the exploitation, the main provision of the tenancy legislation were given. First was fixity of tenure, second was fair rent, and the third was freedom from arbitrary removal. So these were the 4 land reforms introduced in India. The last subtopic of today's session is the Green Revolution. The Green Revolution in India. So what is the meaning of Green Revolution? Dear students, Green Revolution was a technological breakthrough involving high-yielding varieties of seeds, which led to increase in output in food grain items, especially of wheat. Green Revolution was also called as Wheat Revolution. Green Revolution took place in India in the year 1966-67. During the 1960th century, India was facing some food crisis problem, and India during that time was taking food aid and the financial help from America. So, in order to overcome this food crisis problem, the government of India started Green Revolution, which took place mostly in North India, especially in Punjab, Haryana, and to some extent Western Uttar Pradesh. Now, why Green Revolution took place in India? Before coming to that, why Green Revolution was called as Wheat Revolution? Dear students, it was called as Wheat Revolution because during Green Revolution, the productivity of wheat increases tremendously in India. So it was called as Green Wheat Revolution. There were total 4 package programs which were responsible for achieving Green Revolution in India. The first factor which was responsible for achieving Green Revolution was high-yielding variety of seeds. Dear students, when we are making use of high-yielding variety of seeds, the productivity of that particular food grain item increases tremendously. So during that time, most of the farmers started using high-yielding variety of seeds. The second factor responsible was use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. If we make more use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides in a better way, the productivity of that particular crops definitely increases. The third factor was improved water supply. Dear students, during Green Revolution, because of construction of Bhakra Nangal Dam, farmers could make use of plenty of water for the purpose of irrigation. So, the productivity of food grain items increases, especially in North India. And the last factor was use of modern machineries. Right from plowing the soil, sowing of seeds, and harvesting of crops, every work was done by modern machineries like tractors and all. So with these 4 factors, with the help of these 4 factors, Green Revolution took place in India. Under the Green Revolution, we have positive effects of Green Revolution. Dear students, from your examination point of view, Positive effects of Green Revolution are important note. What were the positive effects of Green Revolution in India? First was benefits to consumers. If the agricultural product increases, the prices of these products does not increases very much, and the consumers, especially poor people, were benefited from the Green Revolution. Second positive effect of Green Revolution was increase in the trade. Over-dependent on other countries for goods has declined. During Green Revolution, India started exporting specially wheat item to foreign countries of the world. So, foreign trade started increasing in India with the improvement in the agricultural sector. Third effect was rise in the standard of living. Due to Green Revolution, the production and income of the farmers have increased. Increased income was the symbol of high standard of living. As a result, demand for consumer goods increased and the industries concerned have developed. And the last positive effect was development of industries. Green Revolution created a suitable atmosphere for industrial development. With the increase in income of the farmers, the demand for industrial goods has increased, so the industries concerned have developed in India. And the last note of today's chapter is negative effects of Green Revolution in India. Again, dear students, from the examination point of view, negative effects of Green Revolution is important. First negative effect of Green Revolution benefits to big and rich farmers only. The rich farmers and the large landholders were the major beneficiaries from the Green Revolution because only big and rich farmers from India could afford to buy new machineries like tractors. They could afford to buy chemical fertilizers and pesticides, high-yielding varieties of seeds. So, poor farmers from India were neglected by the Green Revolution. Reason, these poor farmers could not afford to buy machineries, chemical fertilizers and pesticides as well as high-yielding varieties of seeds. Second negative effect of Green Revolution was narrow scope. Narrow scope in this sense, Green Revolution affected only two crops from India. One, the productivity of wheat increases tremendously in India, and to a certain extent, the productivity of rice increases. Whereas all other remaining food grain crops from India were totally neglected. Like for example, the productivity of bajra, jawar and sugar cane were totally neglected by the Green Revolution in India. The third negative effect of Green Revolution was unbalanced development. With the Green Revolution, only two states from North India became prosperous in India, became agriculturally prosperous from India, especially Punjab and Haryana, and to some extent, certain parts of western Uttar Pradesh made improvement in the agricultural productivity. Remaining all other states from India were totally neglected by the Green Revolution. So, Green Revolution was helpful only to few states from India, Punjab, Haryana and to some extent western Uttar Pradesh. Other states were totally neglected by the Green Revolution. And the last negative effect of Green Revolution was the problem of unemployment. With the introduction of new machineries, people became unemployed, especially in the agricultural sector. Machinery started making all the work in the field, right from plowing the soil, sowing of seeds, harvesting the crops. All these works were done by the machineries and not by the laborers in the agriculture sector. So most of the laborers in the agriculture sector remained unemployed due to the introduction of machineries in the agriculture sector. That's all about Green Revolution and its positive and negative effects in India. Dear students, this topic, politics of planned development, is having total 5 marks for Goa Board's final exam, and the same topic is having 2 marks for formative test 2. Dear students, at the end, all the best for your future career and God bless you all. Try to give your parents, teachers, friends and family members what is best in you. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care. Thank you.
Prudent Scholars, powered by Lupin Pharmaceuticals.